All right, welcome everybody. This is Jared Napolitano, and with me we have Ryan Searson, and we are
Hey
going
everyone.
live for OCS quarterfinals between Stubbly and Coffee Pass here momentarily. Tables posted. Welcome. Please feel free to let us know if there's anything with the audio or the visual. We'll be watching the chat, especially early on in the match, to make sure everything's coming through okay. All right,
Yep.
so
Yeah, I think we tested it earlier and everything sounded good, but hopefully it stayed that way.
okay. Let me just tell them we're okay. Yeah, it's a Star Wars customizable card game, online championship series, 2020. Yeah,
I'll
the
take that
match.
as a good thing that Taco Bell can
Yeah,
finally hear me.
yeah, he's been very helpful with us troubleshooting this. And this is take 3. This is why I was definitely want to do a trial run, make sure everything's okay. All right, so we have opened up. We have Drew Coffee Pass playing Court, and Stubbly Connor playing Legend. And I
This
don't.
is the first post-errata game we've
Yep,
had, right?
yep, of consequence for sure. Yep.
Yeah, of the OCS playoffs.
Yeah, so with those, what, about 10 or 11 nerfs or tweaks, whatever people's favorite word is, to kind of adjust the meta a little bit, aka take ISB out of the super top of the power curve.
Pretty much, and I think Court was probably the beneficiary there, and also the nerf to TRM boosted a little bit too.
Yeah, El Taco Bill, you figured it out. I think it was one of the most obvious alts once it was stuck up
Yeah, I
there.
was going to mention that partway through, but yeah, I'll say it. The game that's been stuck for 24 hours was me against Stubbly testing out this matchup.
Oh,
So if that's not an argument to put private games back on, I'm not sure what is.
yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah, I
news.
hope that new allies enjoyed looking at that for a day.
Yeah, I don't think this is a surprise to anybody involved, especially with Drew with
No.
Court. He really likes Court, and Connor has been playing, warming up, testing out Legend a little bit more, even though he's maybe the most infamous no idea player of the last 12 months or so.
Yeah, and there was still a decent chance he might have gone with no idea tonight. We had talked about it up until the last minute. Because we've tested the Court matchup a lot, and I think he's comfortable with it, but I don't know if he likes it as much as he does with no idea, just because that's, he's been playing no idea for the better part of a year.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so it's pretty standard so far. We have the grabber, it's Drew's to play phase. Interesting. Pretty standard Court start. Connor grabs General Leia from reserve with strike planning. This, I think the pretty common thinking with this matchup is it's very close. It's going to obviously come down to battles, but it could also play a little more like a control angle as well.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see if Drew kept some of the cards that I saw on his Texas Mini Worlds list, like Erica V instead of Mara with Saber. Get you that extra point of retrieval against Legend. I saw Janet Gleemort. Could use her or him to cancel the drain of the pit if Legend decides to stack the pit instead of attacking the AC. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they mitigate the damage on both sides.
Mm-hmm. So Connor pulls the free shield, which in this matchup will probably impact Java Space Cruiser Virtual and Guri with Stinger. So that's 4 force. And I feel like there's usually one other thing that happens in this match, but maybe not the free.
In court, I think those are the only three things that would cost. Yeah, and those are, I mean, you don't need a whole lot of late side shields against court. I mean, obviously you want aim high, grabber, goldenrod.
Yeah, we just saw this instance, I think in another matchup recently, where someone didn't pull the goldenrod shield. This happened. Jabba came out, Scum came out, Space Cruiser came out, maybe even from reserve for only 3 force, downloaded a leader for free. And then it's like, wow, all right, so now Cord is kind of pressuring with maybe 3 points of damage with the ping.
Yeah, it can definitely go more aggressive if Lightside doesn't pull that shield. It can have a more aggressive turn 1 for sure.
Yeah, because then you wipe, and then you might have an invasion with a barrier or a stunning leader.
Yeah.
To protect the ground and space at this barrier.
It looks like he's going to go 4 LOM down to the AC, so that's 2 Battle Destinies. That's a good start for Darkside.
Yeah. So this happened before with our Discord stream isn't up, so you guys can't see our faces. But I'm afraid if I tweak anything, you'll lose our Discord. So hopefully it's okay with just the audio for now.
Yeah, you're not missing much. Trust me. No offense, Jared.
Yeah. So Drew pulls Oppressive Enforcement, which would either allow him to drop a free grabber or protect anything from Sensor Alter.
Yeah, I'm probably worried about Alter against Scum. Seems like a good play.
And that's a classic case where sometimes I would tell myself, oh, no need to pull the Oppressive Shield until he gets a character out. And then sometimes you can forget, so I don't think Drew's taking any chances there by pulling that out so he doesn't forget once Conor may drop a character. Why do you think now?
Conor puts back Leia for Lore Santeca. Get Leia back one more time with strike planning. And then, yeah, I guess Legend will do the typical first turn, pull the saddle, pull Luke, draw a couple, pass.
Yeah. It's interesting he grabbed Lore Santeca. I feel like that would not be one of the first Resistance characters I would want, but maybe he's got a few in his hand.
Yeah, I would think maybe EPP Ray, possibly, but maybe he open-handed her.
Yeah, so Conor gets out another Black activation. He's playing the other 2-1.
Yeah, and I believe Conor cut the Hut out of this deck because we didn't pick Drew to play Black Sun at all.
Yeah. So
instead of the 1-0, I think he's got a couple 2-1s.
So that's an interesting comment, Bill, in the chat, but I feel like in this matchup, Legend never wants to put out Jakku. I've played a bunch of games versus our favorite, one of our community's favorite court player, Joker King, and I feel like I've never enjoyed or look back fondly of putting out Jakku because court space is just so stackable and just keep chasing you around, and with Ellis you can add an icon.
Yeah, and if you do put it out, I think you want to put it out late, make them commit to now Hutter first, and then maybe drop guys to Jakku and play the back and forth game. But I wouldn't be surprised to see if Conor just never deploys it at all either.
Yeah, so Conor gets out projection. I'm not sure if he used the walk lane for that. Yes, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, yeah, without now Hutta out, I mean, I imagine this turn Drew will probably put a ship out or two. So you can start putting some more damage through besides the objective. With my guess is that Conor would, plan to go to the pit, so he's not getting pinged constantly.
I would think so. Yeah, and Drew's got 5 cards in hand, so he might just want to put someone else at the audience chamber and then draw a few. I don't know if he wants to go to space yet. We'll see.
Yeah, these early turns are interesting, and I feel like almost every light side matchup obviously has to be very careful versus court because with Scum out, they can pump out a lot of guys relatively cheap. They got a lot of forfeits, so they don't need to worry too much about losing a bunch of guys getting counter beat just because they might end up losing 1 or 2 guys out of 4 or 5. So it's a delicate matchup early, which I think most people realize have played court a bunch against court. So here comes the document. So one thing that you don't always see is Court hitting all this activation very early. Sometimes you see Court only activating 10 or 11. But he's got the bridge. With accelerates.
Yeah, I know Drew plays the bridge and I think the passenger deck as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably got one more Twix floating around.
Yeah. He draws a bunch to restock his hand.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got barriers, burritos, stunning. So I don't think Conor hits the AC. He probably goes to the pit.
Right. So looks like Drew is on that border. Does he want to? Yeah, so he respects Grimtosh / maybe just want to save a bunch. Got everything he needed. No. Conor will use strike again to get General Leia back.
Yeah, we'll see how much Conor puts down because Drew's going to have 12 cards in hand and 20-ish activation to work with. That's kind of scary for Scum.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And the other thing with Jakku Bill is if Lightside puts that out, then that gives Dark a possible way to get to Jakku or Achto late with like Stinger, and it become even more of a liability. So Conor puts out another 2/1 Achto site, which is something we talked about. Is you got all this. This is one of the things I like a lot about Legend is you have this liability-free activation for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And with Luke and Walkling, and then if he does go to space, Brave Resistance kicks in or Tanev. It's just a lot of ways to really beef it up. And now he's at 16. Both sides a lot. I would venture both sides are probably going to have a lot of force pile here too.
If he just wants to stack the pit up too, it might be another turn or two before he flips, depending on if Drew wants to attack or not.
Yeah.
So maybe you could use some of the text on those sites that we never get to see.
Yeah.
If Luke's going to stay around for a turn.
Oh yeah, so Conor will go to the one that allows him to draw top card force pile. Which, you never know if you might get something in the middle of your turn that you might be able to put to use.
Sure.
And he does that. So now he's at 12. They're both at 12. So if anyone on the stream is curious, background on this. So Drew was the 5 seed. He drafted me as I was the 6th, and I got knocked down to the 12, and he beat me soundly in the first round. He beat me game 1 as Legend versus my CCT, which was mostly Ryan's CCT, by 12, and then I went TRM, hoping he would play this court, honestly, or CCT, and he pulled out the ISB New Allies, which is super strong, and then recently tweaked down, so he beat me pretty soundly in that second game. Conor played against Brian Fred. He was the 3 seed, drafted B Fred after a little bit of, or no, he was the 4, I'm sorry. A little bit of a call out. A very, very passive call out, I think, by B Fred, but Conor used that ISB New Allies, got a really big beat in, and then Brian Fred, conceded the second match. That's why we're here. So back to the action. So Conor uses all wings, grabs the Falcon, puts Lorsan and Ray, EPP Ray to the pit.
And Drew grabs that, which seems like a good grab because if you've got Guri out, you don't want to give the Falcon away to spin around the Destiny limiting.
Yeah, I mean, Court's space is so strong. That spin is huge, and then obviously maybe the Holdo bomb to add like 10 to your Battle Destiny. Those are maybe the two of the best ways to cut through Court's space, which can stack really well. Big forfeit.
Yeah, so Conor just puts down Lore and Ray. I don't know if that's enough against 22 force and 12 cards coming.
He has to have a Hujix to do that. So we've seen this.
Yeah, and he saved 4 to be able to play a few different interrupts. So.
Yeah, we've seen this sometimes versus Court to kind of, or even that, versus ISB. I feel like I saw it happen a bunch where you kind of do like the bait and switch, where you don't want to overcommit. You don't want to put like 4 dudes there, because even like 4 dudes right now, 22 force for Scum is a lot.
We're going to see a ship come out, see which one he goes with. I'm assuming he's not playing 3 docking bays.
Yeah, so here comes Ellis. We'll probably grab a smuggler. And I feel like this combination, Court and Ellis and Hinther, is just meta warping. Because so many light side decks, you just have to assume, okay, if I'm playing against Court, which is very popular, they're going to take my system
Right.
ASAP and then keep stacking it.
I think that's the worst thing about Court space. It's not that the ships are pullable, it's that the ships also pull guys onto them.
Mm-hmm.
Cruiser gets someone for free, Ellis pulls somebody, Stinger gets a free Guri. It all adds up pretty quick.
And I mean, one of the strongest guys in this deck might be Ponda Baba Virtual. You get that attrition destiny that is +2. It's really powerful. All right, so Drew, in response to, I guess, Conor shutting off any damage with projection, and going to Tatooine is going to go to now Hutta, throwing a drain of 1 there. He's got Proxima out now, who can start filtering through his deck for more aliens and getting that destiny improved. Which a couple virtual sets ago, I think it was maybe 10 or 11 when Proxima came out. I think that was really a turning point for Court. And you, Ryan, as a Court player, oftentimes I feel like that really increased the destiny of the deck, more aliens, really went a long way.
Definitely. Yeah, being able to filter out those low destinies and get guys to fight with is just, it's really strong, especially in a matchup like Prophet. I used to hate playing against Prophet as Court, but now that you get to start Proxima on the table and just start pulling guys right away, I think it's, a much fairer matchup.
That's interesting. So Guri's out for full price on the Space Cruiser. Yeah, that's a good point.
So now if you're Conor, you might want to pull Jakku and...
Yeah, I think Guri and Ponda Baba are the, and obviously both have Bounty Hunter are like the 3 most things to look out for Court space. So Connor's using his once per game force pile pull.
Now I think if you wanted to go to Jakku with, if you wanted to go to space now, I mean, I don't know what else Court would have to fight with. Dengar, Stinger, they're not fighting by themselves.
This is interesting though, Ryan, because now with the Lorsan text, Ray can move in the control phase. He can move in there. He could possibly mess Forlom, come down with 2, 3, 4 more guys. Yep, he's doing the move. Okay, good. Bill predicted that. I mean, and you gotta know. I mean, Druid must have some type of evasion barrier, stunning, probably his Greedo. But if not, okay, wow. So they got the mess.
There's mess.
Let's see. Does he have the imbalance combo? Nope. He might. Probably not a no switch off in Court. Don't see that too often.
And Drew hasn't played Secret Plan, so this is free retrieval, assuming it hits.
If it hits, yeah, he draws that 0. And a 1. Oof. No, Jedi Lev? Nope. Well, for Connor's sake, maybe those are the 2 worst in, but that's big.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I mean, he must be planning, like I said, at least like 3 more dudes coming down here. 3 more dudes, battle, move in Lorsan. Now there might, but Drew will be able to counterbeat or counterfight at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's got Leia. And then Lorsan enables him to draw a card. And I think this might be one of the small effects of the recent errata to the backside of Legend is you're incentivized to play a couple more, 1, 2, 3 more resistance characters. So somebody like Lorsan or there's a couple other ones out there, and I'm not sure that any of the new ones make in Virtual Set 13. May or may not be more ones. I have to check the spoiler list, but
yeah, we talked about Admiral Statura or
right.
whatever his name is, just because he adds a Destiny at a couple locations. He's an Admiral for command.
Yeah, he's good.
But yeah, just to have extra guys to redraw with.
So he plays Stunning Leader to exclude. That'll get everybody except for Forlom. So battle end. This is where weapons display, also another impact recently, blanked card.
Yep.
Whereas that would cause a force loss of 2 here. Shout out to Adam for helping people with some of the issues with the blank shield. People had to like save their decks, and it was causing a little minor chaos yesterday in Jump. So now Conor moves in Lorsan, so he's got 4 resistance guys there. Drew's going to have 18 force to work with. And we'll see who has what tricks with this inevitable battle. So Guts comes off the top, which would be very helpful in this matchup, especially now he's got Han out. I wonder if Conor's debating about walking that back, especially because his activation is really strong. He already pulled his projection. Not yet. Uses Proxima.
I'm curious, on that last battle that Conor initiated, I guess Drew got the first just action to play stunning.
Yeah, the opposite side always gets the first just. Yeah.
Because I guess it's too risky, but if you'd pass on the stunning and let Conor flip,
yeah,
and then play it, and then Forlon can shoot in this battle plus anybody else who comes down.
Mm-hmm.
Probably too risky to try it, but
yeah,
would have been an interesting idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting dynamic when Lightside has to choose what they're doing with Luke in this with Legend. Yeah, and then obviously that stunning leader now will make Forlon play up a lot, that he could cancel raise text for the lightsaber, he could cancel Solo's text to reduce Destiny. Right, so both players have, we'll call it full hands with 12 apiece. Still early, but up 26 down for Drew and 28 down for Conor. And we have to be getting a decent battle. Drew grabbed Jango Fett with Proxima, so he'll add a Destiny versus Rey as an EPP, or as a permanent weapon character.
Yeah, so that's 3 battle Destinies at least. Although you got to assume Conor's probably got a leadership too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is really an interesting matchup because there's so many things that each player has to anticipate that the other player has. Like, Drew's probably assuming Finn, and maybe the Destiny adder, getting pretty good at this for 2 more Destiny. So, does he have a react canceller? Obviously, Conor's doing that calculus too. Does he have the get combo to cancel react? So it's a force push, so there must be something that Drew really wants. Oh yeah, good point, Joker King. Yeah, so with the option, obviously, to place Luke out of play, Forlon wouldn't be able to fire and cancel anyone's game text.
Right, not on this turn. Yeah.
Obviously, it's kind of like half a weapon because he doesn't hit anybody, he just cancels the game text. And then the virtual Forlon, just the power -1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good point too, Joker. Yeah, I wonder hidden weapons. With the Hear Me Baby out there, Hear Me Baby virtual cancels it, but that card was nice against No Idea because you didn't have to worry about it wasn't a weapon Destiny or anything like that, or Destiny even targeting the defense value. It's just a Destiny.
Yeah, and Drew wasn't playing hidden weapons in his Texas decks, so I convinced Conor to take out Hear Me Baby for perimeter scan. So hopefully that won't bite me in the butt.
Yeah, and the Bastion Silverglun matchup on Sunday, I know Silverglun was actually playing Jotocast in his, so he's got that nice cancel if the opponent draws more than 1 Battle Destiny. But between him, Django, and Fed, it really makes the hidden weapons make sense. And with Court having all those characters that are oftentimes Destiny 2 or 3, which is the capture, That's really good.
Right.
Django comes down. IG88 with riot gun, so
4 Battle Destinies now with IG88.
Yeah. So this is interesting. So obviously, again, we talked about maybe Drew. He has to be assuming the leadership, and he has to be acknowledging that legend will flip and prevent those firings. Looks like he's going to deploy another ship with the objective. 1 force for Stinger? Yeah. Comes Cad, so he makes the other bounty hunters power +1, so that's 3 more power.
Yeah, plus Java can double somebody, probably Django.
Yeah,
So even if Conor can limit the draws, he's still going to get outpowered here by a little bit.
Yeah, maybe that's Drew's angle here of just, let me go for power, but I think Mess is the second card in the lost pile, and Solo's there. So he could hit somebody and do that.
No, I think he retrieved the mess when Leia initiated last turn.
All right. My bad.
Before it got stunned. So Mess should be at the bottom of the deck, but if Finn comes down as a react, he could grab it.
Yep. Oops. I'm refreshing. I haven't had that happen before. Okay. All right, we're back. Good. So we missed. So Conor did flip, place Luke out of play. And then, yeah, Drew retrieves Stunning Leader and force push. Stunning Leader, having that float around is not good, but I think there is probably better things to grab, like maybe Imbalance Combo.
Mm-hmm. And no actions yet, so I'm not sure if Conor's still thinking about Finn or if he just didn't have him.
Wow. Interesting. So Drew baited out the flip. That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, people talked about those shields getting blanked and what were some of the ripple effects, and it definitely helps Stunning Leader.
Yeah, I mean, without weapons display, there's really no reason not to play multiple stunnings.
Yeah. And now, but now you wonder, so now does Conor really try to punch him back, or does he just move out? It's a drain of 1. Or just at now Hutta, he wouldn't even drain at the AC. He got him to commit a few characters there. You gotta wonder, is Ellis? I think one of the side effects, again, too, of knocking No Idea and Throne Room down, although Throne Room was being more farm build, but, less Insurrection, maybe more Ellis, Hellrot. Since I feel like with Throne Room, No Idea being so popular, I feel like Ellis really went down in popularity. And yeah, I saw, and Paul Myers, Conor lost Guts off the top. It wasn't, obviously not a hand thing. Just to a drain.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to battle back into this. I think just moving back outside might be the right play.
And he could do Lorsan and send somebody out, get a drain of 1 through if he's planning to move out anyway. Or he's gonna mess. Interesting.
I think he's going
for IG88, defense value 5. Draws BB8.
Okay, so that'll hit.
Yeah. And there's Statura. Has to be the only admiral that isn't a pilot, right?
Yeah.
So Conor must really want him. Jedi loves him, even though he's going to hit anyway. He adds a Battle Destiny at a Episode 7 location with a Resistance Leader. So obviously that's not going to add a Destiny here, but he also adds to forfeit and defense value, which I guess if IG88's hit, No one else is targeting defense value here. Yeah, and Bill, that new Coin Mercenary that was spoiled too, we'll call it the Scum Hate card. I think that's going to be just about every deck once Virtual Set 13 officially drops.
Yeah, so Conor gets Guts back, although unless he's going to run away, I don't know if Han's going to stay alive long enough for it to matter.
Yeah, and he knows where it is, so I mean, there's probably, I know there's 3 or 4 rescues in the deck. He can probably find that Guts and then play this game of maybe just running, but also keeping Han alive and shutting off that retrieval.
Because if he just runs, he's going to drain 2 at the pit, Court's draining 1. I mean, maybe next turn you get Rose and some other guys out to the other battleground site.
Yeah, so Conor checks with Verify, looks at his 5 cards, what their destinies are. Maybe still debating about running. Yeah, that's a good point, Paul Myers. That might have been worth the Coward Shield if Drew really didn't want him to get Guts back. So Conor uses a rescue.
Yeah.
Now with that grab burned, I don't know. I mean, I think Conor's happy that Drew grabbed all wings.
I think so. I think he'd rather be able to use leaderships and rescues for the rest of the game.
Leaderships, rescues, and the female interrupt to add to drains or protect.
Yeah, and now
or mess even.
And now that Drew's pulled Coward, unless Drew has cold feet, he can't get resistance out. Not that he has 3 battlegrounds anyway.
Or code clearance for the. I mean, I'm sure he's got a cold feet floating around somewhere, but this is one of the benefits too of Conor not playing the Agents of Black Sun site on Ochto. He's giving up 1 more icon, but he's getting 1 more icon, but he's also not giving that free shield away. Which in Court, I mean, every time I play Joker King, I do feel like Court can pull shields quickly. Right, Joker King? Right, Chris? What do you think?
I think the stream's buffering again, maybe.
Time's going down. So Conor sends Lore. Oh no, it's move phase. So Lore moves out.
He's gonna run away.
He can't move himself, right? It's only other resistance characters. Other resistance characters will make a regular move. Yeah, I think with so this is interesting. Is that that must have been a misclick. Not great. I mean, what else is in there, right? All wings, I think Bill said was second. Yeah. Yeah, and I think actually when you click on solo, I feel like that's the first thing that pops up is the plane interrupt.
I've done it before. Yeah, you mean to move them and you just do something else.
So he uses the 2.
Hopefully Drew would let him take that back.
Yeah, Drew's going to revert, so that's good. That's not the most clear-cut one, but you have to assume that that'd be really weird to play an interrupt during your move phase.
Mm-hmm.
So Drew graciously grants the revert on the misclick on solo. And because they also verified the reserve already with when Conor checked with the saddle, it's not like there's any information that's new. Actually, it might even help Drew, because then he sees the one that Conor took, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the flip side of no weapons display is no firepower either. Conor didn't deploy anybody this turn, but if it's going to settle into this kind of drain race game, Court's not going to get that extra retrieval that it could have with the firepower shield.
So Connor's going above 12. You don't really see Monarch too often. In court, or I think I saw a Monarch on one of Drew's Texas list. Actually, a lot of the new allies guys. I remember. I think I saw this observation like during Texas that a lot of them had Monarchs in.
Mm-hmm.
So Connor draw. Well, I just had a lag there. Connor draws all the way up to 18, so he's got 22 down. Drew has 25 down. So Drew has a lot. Or I'm sorry, Connor has more Life Force hand, but it's still early. 40 to 34. Here comes a drain of 1. Again, now, so Connor will threaten a drain of 2 at the pit. 3 if he has the female interrupt, which in an 18 card hand he probably has 1. Resistance, I think.
Yeah, although Drew just got Eric, so that'll help him get the card back every turn.
Yeah. Yeah, Erica V. Here comes, Ghana Gleamort. Here's Erica.
And we had Lax Sabric or whatever his name is in the build up until the last minute, and I think Conor cut him right before the game. Might be regretting that.
Yeah, because that's 1/4 saved every turn. And then with Coward out, so then Conor can't really turn. Well, 70 cards in hand, got 22 down. My guess is Conor's next turn he puts a bunch of dudes to the Antichamber. Probably a
Antichamber or
and a
maybe Space. I know he's got the Falcon. I'm assuming Jakku could be one of those 17 cards in hand.
Yeah, here comes Boskin Bus, who's really good against the Falcon. He adds a Destiny to Power or Attrition. Yep. I wonder if there's any other capital starships that had no passenger or pilot capacity than Boskin. I remember there was one time I was playing this and I was like, why can't I shuttle anybody up to this thing? And I was like, oh, wait a minute, there's no capacity on it.
Yeah, so right now Drew's doing 1 damage a turn for free. Conor's paying 3 to do 1, and then Drew retrieves it. So basically 1 to nothing.
Yeah, this is turning into a grind. But what? Yeah, this is where I mean, if Conor goes to space, though, I mean, then Drew just chases him every single turn. I don't know.
Yeah, the problem is if you go to Jakku and then they follow you over and you run away, you're giving up a drain of 3 at the system.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can't believe this is what we talked about. I don't know if going to space against Court is a long-term winning thing. Okay, so now Rose, I'm guessing BB-8's coming down here. Chewie, maybe. And maybe he just stacks the 2 sites and then just tries to win a race.
Really? So now that's a drain of 2.
Yeah. That's a big turn for Conor, and it's going to force Drew with a 9-card hand to possibly attack because Conor will be up in the race.
Okay, so now Conor's going to do 3 damage a turn, get 1 back. Drew's going to drain 1, get 1 back. But on the other hand, Drew can just start throwing guys at these sites and getting back with scum too.
Right, which is why I wonder if he's trying to find his guts or if he knows where that is. Just kamikazes them? Or do you think he's going to be able to put 3-4 dudes, retrieve 2? He just can't get stuck in the counter beat.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Because
there's no real non-battlegrounds for any spies to go to, so Drew kind of has to just attack into one of these locations.
I think we're still sort of in the era of doom stacks too, and I can see Conor put another 1 or 2 dudes at each of those sites next turn. But yeah, he needs to find BB-8. And I think Drew needs to start forcing some battles through. And if every turn he waits, it's going to get tougher and tougher, I think. Got another refresh here.
Yep. And I believe they're just playing game 1 tonight, is the last I heard, because it looks like this one might go for a while.
Yeah, they said maybe 2 if the first one's fast, but this is probably going to be a grind. So Drew activated 12s, cut back 5. He could have activated 4 more if he wanted to, but indicates he's probably got a plan to attack.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what other weapons are in the deck still. You have Arising,
Dengar.
maybe Dengar with gun. I haven't
P-
seen Dengar with ship, so maybe he's running the EPP.
Alright, so he Proximas into Boba Fett, and he, of course, is somebody that Connor's going to need an answer for. But he's got generals at both sites. At 16 card hand, I think he's playing at least, I know he's playing at least 3, maybe even 4 leaderships.
Yeah, if there's not a perimeter scan, there's certainly a leadership in his hand, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, with the rest, is I really think all wings, even if I was anticipating this to be duked out in space, I think that would have been the 4th interrupt I would have grabbed. After the female interrupt, in no particular order, rescue and leadership. Probably leadership would be my number 1. Because that even in space, that's helpful, but all wings, to do the substitution is lost. Yeah, maybe you could solo it, maybe you retrieve it around, but I mean, Court just has so much forfeit in space.
Right, maybe he substitutes for 1 or 2 battle, but exactly, yeah. An extra draw is not going to kill you.
Yeah, Dengar would be big here for Drew. But of course, Conor, satisfying the new 7-side of Legend, has 2 resistance characters there, so he would be able to force a redraw with the 4. I think Conor, obviously at least 2 rows, he might even be up to 3. So this is our new fresh Herotted. Once per turn during battle, level 2 resistance characters. So Aura.
And if Conor's got the female interrupt, that could save rows too.
Yep. So you redraw it. So he's only got 1 weapon, so if he doesn't have Dengar, I'd be not worried if I was Conor. Maybe P59. Right, so here's Greedo. The false piles are small. A lot of cards on the table here. So Balatique. This is interesting. So no Dengar, no P59. Greedo right now is fodder because Conor has the force to fire with Chewie.
Right. And he could play a leadership to add a draw with Kenobi. He's still got force projection that he hasn't used yet.
Yeah, so Conor's going to take out 2 dudes here. Maybe 3. So Drew better have a Gick for the counter beat. I mean, maybe he's got a job as through with you? But then again, then Conor would just limit.
Right.
So he shoots at Rose.
So he's got to have the female interrupt, I would think.
It hits. But he has Nest.
Huh.
Why Nest for 2?
I think I would have
forfeit?
I think I would have made him at least try to redraw it.
Yeah, but does he have any 1s? The only ones, what are the ones in court chat? You got Shizor and Jabba, who always comes out. Django, who's out. Lost.
ID88.
Yeah, who's out. Or is he out? No, he's in the lost pile, I think. Well, now he's in the used pile.
I think he's back now, yeah. Yeah, it's true. It would have hit either way.
So maybe he tries to get him to draw a battle destiny with 2, and then he just loses Rose, and he might even have another Rose in his hand.
Yeah, I think he's running 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's a good point, Joker King. So you kill Rose, he definitely has another Rose or 2 floating around. If you kill Chewie, that's 6 forfeit. I mean, obviously he didn't know that he had the Nestler, but... But then he could force projection. I guess in hopes to not lose anybody. So Connor hits Aura with Chewy, forfeit 0. Gargarida's going to be forfeit 6. Bala is forfeit 5. Plays the leadership to add.
And then he's still got one left to play projection with.
Yes. So let's say...
So yeah, Rose might be all he loses.
Yeah, Connor gets to 7 in total Battle Destiny. Drew can't lose everybody, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, this is interesting. So does he force projection here? Unless that Jakku's floating around. But if he even just draws a 1, he only loses Rose. Okay, 5. So now Chewie and obviously Obi-Wan will survive. Yeah, so this is going to be... It's definitely going to be counterbeat here.
Yeah, you assume Drew's got a Gick. Because even a stunning is not going to work.
But that might be the question.
He loses.
Does
if
he
it's
grab?
just G-Lord there, stunning might be the answer.
Does he grab a Gick? Alright, so he draws a 10. Yeah, so Drew's going to have to lose 2 dudes on top of Aura. So somebody's getting left there. I'm sure Connor has 2. Let's see what characters. He's got a Lando probably floating around. He's got 2 Finns. 1 or 2 more Roses. A Statura he still has in his hand, right? So now he drops the Statura, adds 1.
Yeah,
right?
Statura could, he'll add a Battle Destiny there. Maybe you still got Ahsoka, Qui-Gon, maybe.
Yeah. So at the very least, he's going to bleed out a Gick. And honestly, if I was Connor, I'd probably grab it, just so it doesn't keep circling around with Scum and allowing him to do kamikazes or.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it needs a episode 7 leader, right? Resistance leader. Thanks, chat.
So who would that be? Poe, maybe?
Poe is a leader, right? And he's probably not going to space.
I think you could drop Poe and Statura down there and
Retrieve with Leia.
Be happy with that.
Force a Gick out. And then maybe he just loses Statura. So now Drew's refueling his hand a little bit. He's definitely playing 2 stunnings, right? So
yeah,
the stunnings and I think those kicks keep floating around could be trouble. So he's got to grab I think one of those 2. Yeah, Holdo. Yeah, Holdo would be a leader, right? I'm pretty sure he left Holdo in, even though I told him not to.
I can't remember if Holdo made the cut or not.
I think who was I arguing? I think it was maybe for a 3rd Rose, but he might have found a way to get a 3rd Rose in there because it spilled the beans now.
The last list I have is 2 Roses and Holdo was still in there.
Okay. I just don't think that Legend wins this by going back and forth in space. Running away.
No, I mean, Court's just too strong.
Yeah, they just keep retrieving. Their forfeits are so high. Like we talked about, I think best case scenario, here comes Statura. Best case scenario, Legend pulls off a Holdo bomb, does a spin.
See if Conor remembers that he needs to have a leader there.
Yeah. Maybe Poe or Holdo. Finn's not a resistance leader, right?
No.
He's just a trooper, I think, in the lore,
right? Trooper and a gunner.
That's right, yeah.
Or whatever that matters.
Yeah. Gunner, you could put him in the Johnny Chu or KTOD hidden base lock deck. Do a Sorry About the Mess in space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you could pull Sorry About the Mess. Does Sorry About the Mess work with Starship Guns? Okay, so here comes Holdo. So yeah, so this will be a Gick. And then Connor might just say, I'm just going to stack, maybe put 5 dudes at each of these 2 sites and just gradually win a drain race. And MPP 8 isn't even out yet.
Try to find your other roads.
And Drew's got 8 cards in hand. He can proximate into more, but it's going to be tough for him to break through either of these sites. Right, the stay sharp, that adds the 2 with Han or a gunner. And it's a used interrupt, too. Destiny 4 versus, well, non-combos of 4. So he gets Shizer.
And I think if you're Conor, you want to lose Holdo out of this battle.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm just worried that if Drew comes back and has a stunning leader to use offensively
Mm-hmm.
and catches just Chewie or just Datura by themselves.
Yeah, that's a good point. And Holdo's less power, and she doesn't do the bonus. Both of them.
If you keep both of the ability 2 guys, at least you still get a Battle Destiny out of it.
Yeah, I think he has to lose Holdo. I mean, maybe he says, hey, Holdo can use the female interrupt to not get hit. Battle Destiny's 4-1. So this will be, let's see, 15 minus whatever Drew draws here. 4. Oh yeah, good point, Justin. So Statura will go. Yeah, so if he loses Chewie, he has no liability to.
Oh right. Okay.
It was like, like P-59, like, oh, he's a droid. Wait a minute, he's a leader. That's where like Leia V works against P-59. Right, so here's the gig. Does Conor grab it? Yep. So he doesn't want to let the, kamikaze campaigns, stretch out this game. Yeah, it's a good point, Vic, that we know both that Bounty Hunter's in Drew's hand. Perimeter scan's floating around. But now he could rescue into it, right? Like, if you're really... Or again, he's got to have a leadership for Boba.
Yeah, I would be shocked if Boba Fett came down and was able to add Battle Destinies one way or another. I'm sure there's an answer for it.
Mm-hmm. So Drew does the cold feed for his 5th shield, gets code clearance. And yeah, so he's cycling some Destiny 5 interrupts, probably in anticipation to get fed out there. I mean, would be big here. Well, I don't even know. I was going to say the LSL route to get some of those dudes out, but Conor probably has the quite a mercenary. 13 card hand, he's been funneling stuff, or filtering stuff, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a little more worried about the stunning leader play now, because as Justin points out, it would have hit all the leaders, but now Chewie's kind of exposed.
So he rescues, so he's probably going to, I think he gets the perimeter scan this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even if he's stunning, like, who's he attacking with offensively? Like a Dengar? Maybe Duro? How does he do Duro or Ritek floating around?
Zam Wetzel, maybe.
Yeah. Man, there was one time I reacted with Greedo to join Zam. I got no Battle Destiny. That was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Went from 1 to 0. Alright, so Drew forces a drain of 1 in space. Ponda. Yeah, I'm kind of happy if I'm Conor too, that Ponda's in space. That's where he usually is, but he could be a pain against, like, Solo.
Yeah, and as far as time goes, they're about 1.5 minutes apart. Drew's got the advantage. I don't know if it'll come to that, but something to keep an eye on.
So Eric gets retrieval.
So Drew's just going to draw some cards.
Interesting. Yes. Now, if you're Conor, you're probably hoping. Well, obviously he knows if he has it or not, but BB-8 rows come down. Maybe another
Yep.
dude to reinforce one of the sites, and then he probably feels pretty good. So Drew's digging. Going up to 12. Yeah, Justin, I think that was one of the things that we talked about as a team was it would probably be good if Court just keeps stacking space and putting guys there. Because you do have to respect Legend space, but the more I think about it, the more like it's kind of a long-term losing battle for Legend to just go back and forth with Court and space or run from Jakku to now Hutta. They just does the forfeit. They can just keep cycling dudes, initiate the battles. So if they stack the two sites, the pit and the antechamber, get Rose, get BB-8, projection the AC. It's kind of like the plan we talked about.
Right, you're just content to do 3 or 4 damage a turn compared to 1 for Court.
Yeah, every time I play Joker King, if I'm Prophet, he just puts Stinger at Nahada turn 1. That's all that ever goes to space. He loses all his. So he uses Ghana to cancel the terrain at the pit.
And the other downside of losing Holdo on that last turn is he might have been able to play the female interrupt to make that a drain 3 at the antechamber.
Yeah. Conor verifies which 3 is. If there's anything he really likes, he could either use a rescue in hands or draw up to a rescue. I have a feeling he rescued into the perimeter scan to make sure Fett doesn't burn him last turn. Yeah, and I wonder if Conor has Jakku floating around still, or if he eventually got that into his hands. Here comes Qui-Gon. Reinforce. Conor goes to battle phase. Still no Rose or BB-8. But maybe there's an argument. I mean, maybe this is getting too cute, but maybe there's an argument to almost hold those guys back so they're not susceptible to Dengar coming down.
Yeah, at least make Court go through all their weapons and then put the guys you want to keep alive.
Wear them down a little bit. So right now, if you guys are watching on the stream, I know sometimes it's hard to see life force counts, but Drew has 16 down, 9 in hands. That's 25. Conor has 19 down, 12 in hands. So was that 31 to 21? No, 31-25.
Mm-hmm.
So he's up a little bit. Board state, obviously, so Conor's forcing 4. Drew's draining 1, retrieving 1. Well, not 4 with Ghana, so that's really like forcing 3.
Right, yeah, Conor's causing 3 damage. Drew's causing 1, getting 1 back, and then maybe retrieving 2 with Scum if he keeps throwing guys into the chopper.
Mm-hmm. So he rescues. Again, that's where the detriment of grabbing that wings is now. Like, Conor can find between rescue and or really just the rescues, he can find stuff.
If you're Conor, I think you're looking for Rose, BB-8, and Guts would be nice if you could find it.
Yeah. And he has to, I bet he has, Ahsoka, Lando. Finn. I'm sure he's probably had Finn for a while, just to hold him back for whichever spot. I haven't seen a lot of Lana Dobry combo in Court.
Yeah, I was playing it in mine just to protect forfeits more than anything else. I don't know if Drew bothered with it.
Probably makes even more sense in Court, right? Because those forfeits are so big. Then like CCT. I think you have it or I have it or both have it. CCTs. It's huge for anti-Finn.
Right, that's what it's biggest against.
Mm-hmm.
I think in all the test games we played, I think Finn got through maybe 1 or 2 times between barriers and react cancelers.
But yeah, even more reason to grab the get combo for Conor to increase the chances his fin react goes through.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. Oh, wow. Joker King loves that. Oh, man. So he randomly attacks one guy on Dark's turn, right? And it's and Conor has 6 or 7 exclamation points.
Yeah.
That's hard to beat.
We did not tech for this.
Yeah. Creatures, wow. Wow.
Anything eaten by Sarlacc is placed out of play, so that could be big.
And you can't hit it with the lights. It's got 12. Oh, man.
I don't think
Creature
we have
rules.
any 7s in this build.
So,
No, there's no 7s.
So, wow. I wonder if Conor knows creature rules. This is usually the judge in live events. Yeah, so he chosen randomly Ray. Oh, man. Interesting. One Destiny versus one Destiny.
Yeah, neither do I, Conor. No idea what's going to happen.
But I think, like, alright, so let's say. Oh, that's right, Drew's moved the 5s. So Conor needs a 4 to survive. And honestly, and Conor draws a 5, so Ray lives another day. Now, Conor can take the first action on the battle phase of his turn, but this thing's hard to kill because I think you add the tentacles. So 4, 16, and a Destiny, is that right? Joker King, please chime in here. Because I think, let's say he draws another 5, so he's at 21. Is that how this works? So Light needs, 22 in power and Destiny? To defeat it. So if Conor was kind of up in the air on where to put BB-8 and Rose, he's definitely going to the antechamber with those two.
Yeah, that makes it pretty simple on where to put a BB-8 and Rose.
But now does Lando... It's not a battle Destiny, right? Like if he attacks into the Sarlacc, I think you just get a Destiny versus in creature fights. It's like
Yeah, I don't think Solo adds one. I don't think Lando would add one. Although I don't know. I haven't played with creatures in 15 years.
So if you're, if you're Conor, you probably have to put Lando or Ahsoka and just kill that thing, or else it's going to gradually, or potentially gradually, wear those guys down, and then you lose your second battleground. And you obviously damage. It's a 1 point of damage with Ghana.
Okay, so good point by Joker King. The BB-8 can't get eaten if he's at the pit. So I guess you attack a non-droid character only.
I mean, did the Dragon Snake chew up and I guess he spit him out? R2 can't kill him. So the creatures don't like droids. It tastes too hot. They can't sense them or something. Who knows?
Mm.
Oh man. So we have a Sarlacc in an OCS game. I mean, there's a lot of Hollow Theater challenges that could probably involve creatures.
Yeah, that's a card I did not expect to see, but I'm happy I did.
Alright, so Conor activates all but 2. Pays 3, drains 2. But, I mean, yeah, if Conor gets Rose out, that means Drew is basically doing no damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Joker King. Would he have eaten... he wouldn't have eaten Leia. They would have tied at 9, right? Oh. Interesting.
That's interesting. I don't know if I like that.
I don't like that at all. I would just throw a soak at the pit, kill Sarlacc, and just keep doing what you're doing. Oh, see, this is. I wonder if Connor's just freaked out by creature rules.
Yeah, he might just, he's not sure what the Sarlacc's going to do and just wants to get away from it.
Yeah, I mean, he puts Ahsoka there. What, he's power 19? If he draws like a 3? Or he could set it up with Legend, the 7 side.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you still have the leadership in hand, you're not worried about Darkseid getting 2 or 3 draws.
Mm-hmm. And you can hit one person. The Destinies are -1. Yeah, see? Yeah, I think Connor got spooked by creature rules.
Yeah, if that's what Drew was going for, then mission accomplished, I guess.
Yeah. Oof. So Drew uses white at the end of Connor's turn. And Drew cycles and accelerate. Looks like he takes another one, so line that up. Still no BB-8 or Rose. So either Connor can't find them.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that.
Either Connor can't find them, or for some reason he doesn't want to put them out yet.
And Drew hasn't used Haven yet, I don't think. So if he wanted to get back, like, Ballad Tick to stop Han.
That's what he's doing, right? Oh, he's using Haven. So Connor wants to use the objective. I think he still will be able. Still this draw phase and Drew's action.
Okay, so he takes Greedo.
Connor shuffles his 2-card reserve deck. Using the once per game check with General Kenobi. What's the deployment? This thing's only 4? Wow.
Wow, I thought it cost a lot more than that. Huh, I'd like to start randomly floating Sarlaccs in my port decks now.
Alright, so it's Drew's turn. He's deciding how much to activate. It's currently, if you count all cards, 29 to 24 in favor of Connor. Probably going to be a battle here at the AC. If Connor doesn't have a leadership. Although the Destinies are -1, but it looks like Drew, obviously Drew's put a couple 5s very probably. Has filtered his deck out pretty well. But Connor will get a swing. Drew's thinking, okay, so he's going to activate everything. Connor rescues. I wonder if there was 2 cards in reserve deck, he really wanted 1. He knew it was the bottom. I've been thinking. Maybe, or he's just finding Rose and BB-8. He definitely has a Finn by now. So Drew won't be battling here if you activate everything. There's no Chirrut for Darkseid, right?
Yeah, and I guess you can't risk battling and getting counter beat, but you're also giving up chances to retrieve back cards.
Yeah, and in a weird way. Oh, well, Sarlacc attacks Darkseid characters too. Right? But if you get a drain of 1 through at the pit, but then Connor will be able to cancel Scum if he wins the AC. Drain for 3. Maybe 4 if he gets the female interrupt out.
Maybe you just convince Drew to put more guys at the AC, and then you just move everyone back out again.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to what you were doing.
Yeah, or stunning. No, so Conor doesn't have anybody who would not be excluded, so that's not going to come into play. And even he doesn't, and even Drew only has Ghana and Forlom. Although what would shock me is Ghana. He's not a leader. Drew retrieves Duro with Erica. So yeah, maybe they're just gonna fight like men at the AC here. Interesting. Here comes Greedo. I'm guessing maybe Boba has to go there. Yep, that's 4. Effectively, will cost another 2. What? No, don't. Well, he's basically cycling a card.
Yeah, I don't think you had to play a perimeter scan there, but
right.
Yeah, you put it 4 back.
Yeah, the only thing would be can you get saved for the next time that Boba comes out, but yeah, so it gets a card back. I mean, this is interesting because I wonder.
There's Dengar.
Oh, he's gonna stunning. Well, he still has nothing for battle destiny, nothing for weapon destiny. Never mind. He could just stunning as a defensive move, so Conor needs to be aware of that. And now, so Drew's not gonna be able to move all his guys out of the AC. Puts another dude down, so no one's moving.
No, he's gonna stay put.
This is interesting. So he's putting the onus on Conor to make a decision here on where to fight. I mean, if Conor is a mess and messes Vet, maybe he has an imbalanced combo, but.
Well, if he has a mess, he's got to mess Greedo.
Right. Yeah, my bad.
But if Drew is relying on stunning, it leaves Greedo and Dengar against Chewie. So neither side gets a battle of destiny unless Chewie gets shot.
So he would retrieve with Leia for that.
Yeah.
Shoot, he can kill one of them. Yeah, this is going to be... Conor's got to really think this turn out. Like, is it possible to battle up both? I mean, he's got... I'm sure he's got... Finn. Does he just go Finn and just try to blow out the AC? Finn with the adder. Probably has a Hujix, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the tough part is you can only leadership at one of the sites, so I don't know if it makes sense to attack both.
So Conor activates 8. If he were to mess at the AC, who would he get?
I think, well, now that Drew's taken Haven, I'd be tempted to almost just take Dana out and move away.
Yeah.
But I think if you want to fight, you'd probably take out Django or maybe Forlom.
Yeah, Forlom's a little easier. His only defense value 3.
Yeah, you probably take out Forlom just so you can play solo.
Alright, so he's doing it here with Chewie. And that means it's going to be Greedo. So if Conor battles, he could shoot Dengar, and then it'd be 6 versus 3, and then either Drew's got to peel 3. If he's stunnings, which he probably wouldn't then, right? Because then he'd just be peeling 3. Or kicking. Well, he can't get because he would need 2 force.
Right. So you take out Greedo, you got 3 destinies left. That's enough to swing one more time and draw Battle Destiny. Play leadership to limit, and I think you just clear out the antechamber and call it a day.
Maybe Conor was thinking, again, maybe with the whole Rose BB-8 afraid of Mr. Dengar here. Just coming down, picking them off, and then him having to, you hit the Leia or Walkling to fish them back out. So here comes Lando. So that's going to be... Satura's not adding. So he gets a swing, and I mean, you can do the legend to put one card back on.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So you presume he would leadership, swing, draw 2 Battle Destiny, force out another Gick. All right, well, projective's big. Well, he still forces it through? Yeah.
Kind of. You still got one, so you can still do the legend peak, put that one back on the reserve deck, then you have enough to swing and draw 2 Battle Destiny.
Yeah, so, yeah, good point by Bill. So, if he has leadership and he hits Fett, I mean, that's a good game, I think. Right?
Yeah, because Dengar would cover 4.
Maybe Connor's just selling out for the win here. Because, yeah, I mean, if he uses all this force, he can't. He's not going to make force for tricks with first strike out for the audience chamber, but he probably doesn't need them. I mean, if he ends the game right here, he doesn't need them. Or he's just got enough forfeit to soak up there that he can always probably just run away. And he probably would just use rage. As long as he gets rid of Arica. Right, so he Nestlors on Chewie to preserve his forfeit.
Yeah, the other thing is, though, is that Drew's going to kill both resistance guys here, so it's not going to be a drain at 2 anymore.
Mm-hmm. Right. So Conor moved it to his force pile? Yeah.
Oh, he did.
So he can't now swing and draw 2 Battle Destiny. Alright, so he limits. These guys are going to cover 8 and 6
Cover
is
14.
So yeah, that's going to be 2 plus the difference in Battle Destinies, which could be decent for Conor. So he's defense value 3. And he hits him anyway. I wonder, that's a tough call.
I might have saved that redraw for the Battle Destiny.
Make sure the Battle
so I think it's important to get as much overflow as you can here.
Right, and it's pretty unlikely he's going to miss. Maybe if it was 4, it makes a little more sense, because he probably still has some characters floating around. Conor draws a 4 and a 5, so that's 9.
So 35. Solo could still play heading if you wanted to add one more onto it.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to be able to keep Lando alive, right? If he wants. Yeah, I mean, yes, they're going to cover, what is it, 14 to 24, so it's 11 minus 4, so 7 overflow. So that's going to, Drew's not done yet, but that's going to hamstring some of what he can do.
That's decent, yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. That's a good point, Bill. I feel like Conor was kind of stuck in between. Do I want to just end this now? Or, I mean, maybe those Destinies were terrible? But even if they were terrible...
Now that site's only a drain of 1.
Yeah. I mean, Dengar is only defense value 2. I mean, you're not going to draw a Battle Destiny of 6, so it would have been better to let Qui-Gon hit him.
Draw the 1, yeah.
And then Dengar loses his forfeit. So here's peeling 7. Move, projective, accelerate from hand.
Yeah, I think I still would have put the card on reserve deck and just gone for the swing and the draw-ins and try to win the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would be...
And if you have nothing saved for the AC, then you take your chances at the AC.
Yeah. So Drew loses a bunch from hand. He only has 1 in his hand now. And he's going to recycle, which is probably pretty wise. I'm guessing lose 2 from hand. Because you don't want to lose that 1 force. You need that force for an interrupt, probably leadership at the AC. Yeah, so right now, after Conor loses 2, it's going to be what? 18, 27, 25 to 14.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Conor's only forcing 1 damage if he wants to pay 3. Which doesn't seem great.
And Erica's just retrieving it. So right now, Drew's back to winning the damage race, but there's a decent gap to make up.
Yeah, I almost wonder if Drew has like no choice but to battle at the AC, right?
I think you have to, at least just to get the retrieval.
Right, if for nothing else, it just extends the game and allows him to chip into the diff, but at some point there's going to be a point where, you know, when do you...
Because next turn, I definitely think you see BB-8 and Rose go down now that pretty much all the weapons are gone.
Yeah, so Drew activates 6, saving back 6, but it's still activating. Still activation phase, so he still might... Okay, he goes control. Drains for 1. So what was I'm sorry, Conor lost Gold Leader and Gold 1, and his 2 space things, Wedge and Red Squadron 1. Yeah. Let's say so. He loses Hujix. Probably okay to do that, right?
Yeah, you don't need it at this point.
Even if he comes into another alien, he's got 2 aliens, so he can't force overflow on Kenobi and Qui-Gon.
Not with Duro and 1 other card in hand.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, good points, Chad. Yeah, the power, Drew might really beef up that power at the AC. Yeah, this was gonna be close. Cause yeah, I think you 4-long Ray, right? I think someone else made a comment that it's actually a lot interesting. It's an interesting decision who to 4-long at the AC. Like Ahsoka, Solo, Ray.
I might go after. I might take Solo and get rid of the extra draw.
Obviously, you can't go after Ahsoka.
Because then you're winning the power difference by. I mean, because right now it's 30 to 19. Jabba can double Jango to make it 35.
Yeah. Well, Jango, he's power 4, right? Oh no, Cad's doubling him. Yeah, good point.
5 from Cad. Yeah.
Someday someone's going to program Bane Malar, and he's going to get in here with his deploy 3, forfeit 5. So he goes for Ray with 4 lines.
I keep winning.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Connor's got another leadership.
Plays it to limit.
Yep. Yeah, I'm thinking Drew's wishing he would have grabbed that.
Mm-hmm. So that's his 1 force. So no more tricks coming from Conor with first strike. So he got 16 power. 16 power difference.
Mm-hmm.
So Conor redraws the 3. Well, 4 becomes a 3, becomes a redraw. Which now is a 2. So that's big. I think Conor's going to have to lose 2 dudes here, right? Maybe 1. So he's going to pick off probably 2.
He could get away with maybe just losing lore and peel a couple, maybe.
Yeah. All right. So 9. So yeah. So it's 28. So he's down 9. You want to recover 5. I mean, you're gonna battle back into him, right? With Leia, get 1 back. But he can't.
Yeah, and Drew's got to lose 2 guys.
Can he battle back into him without another leadership? I mean, probably, right? With the redraw on Ahsoka.
Yeah, he's playing 3 leaderships, I think.
Well, no more Ahsoka. All right, and then Drew loses Cad, which is going to take power off of Django and Forlom. And then, yeah, so Drew did have the Jakku.
There it is.
And yeah, all the space is in the lost pile.
Yeah, so Conor is, Conor's giving up on space completely.
So, Drew in his draw phase, he's got 2 possible to draw. Conor plays a Hear Me Baby.
Putting back a 5.
Mm-hmm. Circulates, and now Conor kicks off turn number 10.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Conor is ahead on time, too.
Yeah, and interesting. Yeah,
not by much.
Like half a minute. Interestingly, Conor, who had a much larger hand for several turns, now actually only has 2 in hand versus Drew's 4. Again, yeah, a grindy game here, so I'm sure Conor's taking his time figuring out exactly how much he wants to activate. Does he want to do it all? 16, leave 5, but with Legend, I mean, this is what people always say about Legend. There's a lot of decisions to make of even activating. How much you want to leave back, when, and how are you anticipating to move your cards with the peak? So he does push through drain at 1. I mean, Conor has to have Finn in one of those 2, right? Maybe it might even be Finn in the Adder. Maybe he just does that and goes for the kill shot at the ace 8.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And just tries to wax off 4 of those guys. Here's Mess. Okay. Didn't use the peak, so obviously. Well, he knows that's Hear Me Baby, right? Yeah, it was the. This one should be Hear Me Baby.
Should be.
Yeah. Okay. So that's big. So now he's going to get. Solo's not going to get his text canceled, and Drew loses Battle Destiny. So now it's just 2, and theoretically, Conor might be able to force him to redraw it into only losing 1 dude.
Right.
Maybe it's Solo at that point. But yeah, if it's Finn in the Adder, that.
I just wonder if one of those 2 cards in hand is, I guess, Finn in the Adder, or maybe Rose or BB.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where are they? And I wonder if I think he went to 2 BB-8s, right?
I think it was just the 1, but he's playing 4 rescues, so I think he would have found it.
So Conor retrieves the Falcon with Ray's text. Hit. Drew does a wipe. Conor does a verify. Yeah, he could move them to his reserve deck, right? He didn't do that yet. But then he still would be only drawing. He could draw 4, but he actually only have the cards to draw 3. 5 minus 2 for the swing, so he could draw 3, but. Here's Poe. Alright. Our 3 leader, as we suspected.
So he's just dropping some fodder.
Yeah. He's probably going to hit. I mean, you go for Django because he's 8. And then if you draw even like 8 in Battle Destiny, it's.
Or you try to kill Erica and get that retrieval.
Yeah, and he's probably pretty confident in his destinies at this point. I mean, maybe the Rose and BB-8s are floating. All those rescues, leaderships, peace scan, like these what are we at? Wow, 23 cards down for Conor right now. Like a lot of high destinies.
Mm-hmm.
Retrieves the 0, which I'm sure he's got to know where that is, so he doesn't draw it at an inopportune time. He peels it to the Nalhada Drain. Yeah, see this Legend, man. Between General Leia, Rose, EPP Ray, obviously Walkling, it can really Got a lot back late game. So Lando and Guts hits Django, so that's 8 forfeit. That's now gone. Another retrieval. Oof. Yeah, Conor might get this up in the mid-20s. It's pretty wild because he didn't even. Did he retrieve a single card with Rose this game or force a single ping with BB-8? No. So actions
I guess
on.
there's no Destiny Adder,
True.
no Finn. Maybe he's waiting for a counterattack for that.
Yeah. It looks like Drew's thinking. Ghana gets doubled.
Yeah, he's got the most power now that Cad's gone.
Is there any way? Oh, no, never mind. So Conor, I still don't think has done his peak yet this turn, right? So he's just going to draw it. Leadership. Another rescue. So that's 9. So that's going to kill 2 more dudes.
So, yeah, everyone but Jabba or Erica.
In which case, do you run away? You want to run to the pit to hang with the Sarlacc? Do you want to run to the dungeon? It does nothing for you, so I don't think you do that. He's got 3 cards in hand. He could Proxima into this.
Yeah, Sarlacc might be Sarlacc might be a double-edged sword here.
Yeah. Oof. 2 and a 1, so he's just going to punt Poe.
Yep.
And
if Jabba runs away, Lord Santeca can just send Rey out in the control phase next turn.
Yep.
Oh, I guess not.
Retreat. I'm surprised he did that. I'm surprised he didn't lose. Oh, well, the Destiny Adder works. Oh, no, it's just Finn with Poe or Rey. So, yeah, I'm surprised he didn't just lose Poe there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised you wouldn't lose Poe there. Yeah, I don't like that.
Drew's got 9 attrition, so he's got to pick 2 out of these 3 guys. I mean, Drew's in a tough spot here because I don't even think he can try to lead some diff out. Scum's about to get canceled anyway. So yeah, this might be a draw.
So he keeps Erica out for the retrieval. But if he runs away now, that's a drain of 3 at the audience chamber.
Yeah. And I'll let the, and honestly maybe Conor can do a hit and run with it. Does he have? Who's floating around still? Lando's floating around. Maybe Kamikaze's Finn.
That might be it.
He's got 3 cards in hand.
Finn.
I mean, Conor still.
I know we cut Core and Horn, so there's not really a lot of guys who draw on their own left.
Yeah. He still has Walkling too. So he did have the Adder. Maybe he just got it. He loses the Destiny Adder from hand. Getting pretty good at this. Dorito gets found with Proxima. Drew retrieves. So he left 2 back. Well, obviously, with Proxima, if you reveal only 2, it fails, right?
Yeah, if there's less than 3 cards, it'll look at them, but you won't be able to take one.
And Rescue, it probably doesn't shuffle them either, right? If it fails that way.
I'm not sure on that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What Drew's plan is now.
Do you 3PO one of those cards?
That'd be big. It's edge 88.
Okay.
But is he... I can't imagine him battling into this, but then if he doesn't run away, he's allowing more general layer retrieval. And ray retrieval. Yeah, Joker King said draw up. I mean...
He's just going to make one more stand at it.
This might turn like 23 or 24 into like 25 or 26. So Drew puts 3 more dudes there and draws up. Or not draws up, draws. I think he must be hoping that Conor battles in. He plays the stunning. That might be his one last Hail Mary. Which might work pretty well, honestly, because then... So Drew would have 2 Battle Destiny with Ig adding... No, it'd only be 1.
Well, what happens if Conor battles here? I guess you got to swing at Iggy, because if Iggy can capture somebody, flip court...
Oh, gosh.
And then go start beating people to the Sarlacc?
Yeah, now what's the... Oh, man, Joker King, we need you again here. So I'll side up. Deploy captives targeted. Opponent loses force equal to value of each character eaten by the Sarlacc. Out. No, it's on the Sarlacc that they retrieves. But we'll see. With aim high out, it's going to be really tough. Yeah, it's Sarlacc eats a captive and retrieves 1 force. Oh, for each of your aliens, it's not like their forfeit or power or anything. But, I mean, if Conor battles in, he plays Stunning Leader, somehow that forces Overflow, can then solo, as excluded, play Hujix from Lost? I know did he burn the solo already?
Yeah, cool. He burned solo, and sorry about the mess.
That's right. That'd be a cool feature. Like solo, like, wasn't burned yet. Or like Leia Rebel Princess, Jump would tell you. So yeah, so no stun.
Yeah, so he's going to kill Erica and shut off that retrieval.
Oh yeah, and yeah, right. You just said that we just said that Poe is a leader, so he would have got popped. So he's fine. Alright, so yeah, so here's a layer retrieval, here's a ray retrieval.
Yeah. Not hitting IG-88, do leave the door open now for a capture flip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's the creature rules? Does a creature automatically attack a captive? Or is that on this text? During control phase may cause Sarlacc to immediately attack one captive present. So, capture, move, you have to get another turn in. And Ig couldn't be attacked, right? Because he doesn't occupy.
Right.
So that might be a way to cut diff. Maybe that's what Drew was looking at here. So we capture solo. This is going to do... right?
Captain if people are playing flip court in the OCS, then maybe the errata went too far in shaking things up.
So, I don't know what's taking a while. Is this going to break Jump? Unless it's just stalling again.
Maybe he's thinking about whether to let him escape or whether to take him.
You got to take him. Seize, yeah. But now,
that shuts off the forfeit bonuses now.
Oh, yeah. Which is what
so now Burrito's on the forfeit 4.
So he's got 8, but Conor's only drawing
1. And DeRoe's only 4.
Unless Conor has another leadership to add, and if he goes 5-4, sight clears. He's using the peak now, right? Yeah, so they're on the reserve deck. So I'm going to bet this is 5-4 or 5-5. So yeah, everyone's dying. And yeah, unfortunately that plan might, only limits.
Yeah, I think leadership's been played in pretty much every battle this game.
Yeah, so I'm surprised he put the 2 cards on reserve deck. Presumably they're high destinies. I guess he doesn't want to lose. He just wants to be able to punt Poe. But now 5's going to kill 2 out of these 3, right? Her forfeit 0. He didn't have like
it probably kills DeRoe and Greedo, and then you just got Iggy left trying to kill solo.
I think I would have added. Because even if worst case scenario, he's got to lose like Leia and Poe or Rey and Poe. I mean, if Drew really fights to keep IG8 alive, he's going to be giving up a drain of 2. I don't know. Alright, so that battle ends. Now, Drew's up about 2.5 minutes in time. Drew is at 11 cards down, 2 in hand, so 13 versus Conor's.
So the audience chamber is
25.
IG88 with the captive Han. So Drew played CCT, just took a really long way to get there.
Yeah, unconventional. Yeah, now Scum goes away. Conor draws 1, so he's going to be really cautious not to give away any diff points here.
I think if you're Drew, you maybe start thinking about drawing up.
Yeah. Because he's going to have to pay for drains. Well, let's say
maybe try to feed solo first, but if you see Rose come down next turn, then draw up after that.
Yeah. Drew activates, keeps 3 back, probably for another Proxima. Paul, but again, missing out. He's going to be paying sticker price on the aliens with Scum gone. Yes, I don't know if I like this. I mean, he's going to move IG8 away. I guess his one hope right now is to get Sarlacc to work the diff down. Loses force equal to the forfeits. That's 7 force. And he can't attack IG. Doesn't occupy. And Conor won't be able to put enough damage just to be drain 3 and 1. You have to pay 6 for it. So yeah, so maybe this whole plan might work out for Drew to make a good dent into the diff. And the retrieval's only for aliens present. Yeah. Retrieval for each alien. Conor uses his walk link to get Jakku. Oh, we're gonna have a Sarlacc feeding during the online championship series.
Just like we all expected.
Yep. I mean, Fungineer would be thrilled at this. I feel like Scott would like this too.
Yes. Conor is down to 8 minutes on the clock, though, so he does have to watch his time a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even more reason why Drew, maybe that's a chance he has.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the damage now is going to be, pay 6, strain 4.
Yep. That'll take Drew down to 9 cards left.
Alright, so he pays the female interrupt.
8.
Yes, and now presumably Drew has 2 turns left. But it's looking very likely that one of them he's going to get through some Sarlacc feeding.
That'll cause 7 damage.
Yeah. And in retrospect, that could be huge because I feel like the difference between like 17, 18, and 25 is pretty big.
Oh, yeah.
$25, you have to like completely alter your game plan. 18, you could probably still, I'm going to play my deck I'm really strong with.
I mean, this whole match could really come down to the 7-sided court feeding a captive. Which
yeah.
It's not what you expected to see tonight.
Nope. So he takes Velkin. He doesn't do anything fun with the Zarlak, right? He just adds the drain at the pit. The smuggler.
Yeah, I think he does that.
And then he does the hole. Alright. Here we go. Wait a minute, what's going on here? So Solo's over here, but IGD Solo. So yeah, so Solo does not draw a destiny, right? Because you get creature rules. Ability greater than 4, you get a destiny. It's not a battle destiny.
Right.
Wow. So we have Sarlacc eating Solo.
Amazing.
And you know what? It goes back. Remember we talked about maybe Conor just throw down Ahsoka, kill that Sarlacc once and for all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows all the other things how they would have played out, but eventually won the AC. But I wonder what the path would have
I mean, if you're
looked
Conor, I think you're just happy to win this game regardless.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In all of our tests, we really couldn't figure it out.
Could figure it out to get like Legend to do really well. I mean,
yeah, I mean, the first couple of games we played, I was using my old court deck, and Legend was doing great, and then I switched it to Drew's Texas list, and from that point on, court just won every game we played.
Wow. Including this stuck.
So we didn't have a lot of confidence going into this game, but it's worked out pretty well for Conor.
Oh. All right, so Drew's deploy phase, he got 2 in hand, 4 force to work with. Presumably...
He might drop deploy Belkin just to get the drain.
And hope... Well, he deploys them... Yeah, so Sarlacc went into... I don't think Sarlacc attacks Darkside characters on Darkside's turn. I think it randomly attacks someone there. Who knows? If there's only Darkside characters there, non-droids. Yeah, I have a feeling if he just puts Belkin, he just gets killed. But I could be very wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like he gets killed that battle phase.
Yeah, Drew's just going to leave it, and I'll probably see him draw up on the next turn.
Yeah, and then you got that through. Kind of activates everything. Right, so he'll knock 4 off, and then Drew he'll have 3 total. Not really able to do anything there.
Yeah, so Connor's going to end up winning it by 19, 18, because I guess Drew will get 1 more drain.
Yeah, no, he won't draw up, so maybe he forces 1 more through. It's not like Conor can take advantage of Leia or Rey anymore.
Yeah, nothing in hand, so there's no Rose or anything coming down. So yeah, drain 1 more time, and then move on to game 2.
So Conor loses Jedi Lev, it looks like.
Drew will lose to his own objective, and that'll be it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, so he won't be able to get that drain through. So yeah, so it's going to be 18 for Conor. Okay.
And then I don't know if they haven't said when they're going to play game 2. It's not going to be tonight.
Right. All right, so that's going to be it. So Conor wins by 18. Really good match. Some really fun stuff. It's a good game to both players. And we will, stay updated to the forums, to Twitter. Once it's announced when game 2
looks like Drew might want to. Looks like Drew wants to play game 2 tonight.
Oh, well, I'm down to commentate. Oh, I did. Interesting. So it sounded like Drew was the one who wanted to maybe postpone game 2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, wow. So stay tuned. So it's 11:02 Eastern. They're going to play in 2 minutes.
Okay.
So I guess we'll just leave this all as one stream.
Yeah, that works. I'm going to walk away for a minute just to get a drink and get ready for the second game.
All right. So we'll be right back. I'll just put up a message for like 2 minutes. All right. We'll be right back, chat. Thank you. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. We have Jared Napolitano, Ryan Searson here for Game 2
Hey,
of
everyone.
quarterfinals between Stubbly and Coffee Pass. First game, Stubbly won. Stubbly Conor won by 18 as Legend versus Drew's Court. Just want to yell shout out if anybody has issues with audio or visual. Let us know. We'll be checking the chat again, especially early on, to make sure everything's coming through okay. So we have.
Hopefully it's all the same.
So Drew goes no idea, and Conor goes hunt down. And I actually tested this with Conor, and I did not like how no idea performed post errata. So
Yeah, I would think it's slower to set up, and without that automatic saw, it's probably a little bit easier for Darkside to get some interrupts through.
we got 19 viewers.
I think we were kind of putting Drew on Legend, but no idea.
Yeah.
Interested to see how that works after errata.
Yeah, it was one of these two for sure, but I would have thought like 80% Legend, 20% no idea.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, we played this matchup, and we talked about this in our team chat. It's interesting what Hunt Down can do because, I mean, first I wonder if Drew put in like an out of commission turn, just terminated. Because what could happen quickly is Hunt Down could fortify the Hollow Theater, and then go and take one of the Scarab sites, and then no idea wants to not or doesn't want to put the beach out too quickly so that Darkside goes there with a bunch of heavy hitters with weapons. So it can very quickly become like Lightside's just sitting at the system. Are you going to pay 3 drain 1? Even if you kind of run around on Scarif and maybe you start going to their non-battlegrounds, like if Dark is smart, they'll hold back a bunch of dudes to pluck off those guys.
Yeah, and I think if you're Conor, you just want to sell out to protect Visage. Because as long as both guys are losing one, I mean, you're fine with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's huge in a match play diff setup. So Conor gets out Castle. Obviously, Conor started the 12-card start. He accelerated. Interesting. So we missed that as we were getting set up here. So Conor played Accelerate to deploy the flagship. So that's always interesting because it's like you don't have a way to verify that the bridge is in there, but you kind of hope it is.
Yeah.
Ryan, did you had the Lost Piles? Do you want to chime in the chat maybe?
I do.
At least for a ballpark.
38 for Drew, 23 for Conor. I don't think I can type in the game chat.
Oh, that's right. It's disabled. So, yeah. It's a tiebreaker. It's
we'll
try hard to win.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes to that.
Yeah. Because it's... So it's the net, obviously, then, right? The net of the Lost Piles. Yeah.
Right.
It has to be the net. It can't be anything else. Not like it would just be Game 1's Lost Pile. Alright, so Conor gets out the castle, draws a few, they both lose. Drew top decks Chirrut, and
yeah, Conor didn't put anybody at the Hollow Theater, so in theory, Drew could just go cancel Visage right off the bat.
Yeah, this is bad. I think
Conor's only activating 8, so it's not like he has a lot to come back with.
Yeah, so it seems like Conor not only whiffed on... I would say whiff on activation. 12-card hunt down, if you don't get 2 Twixes out, that's bad. That's bad luck. And then you didn't have a Vane or an Emperor to stick at the Hollow Theater. That's also tough, because I think he was running at least 4... I think he was running 3 Emperors, 2 Vane, and I might have talked him down to... reducing one of those. Because that's a tricky thing, because when I was testing with him a couple times, I kept drawing, like, Jin, Cassian, Chirrut, those like the probably 4 spies that it was tough to pair 2 of them up to make sure one survived. Yeah, so Drew has to have at least 1 character and probably a Escape Pod or a Hujix or a Barrier or something.
That would be big too, because I think Conor's been running 1 Visage in the deck. So.
Mm-hmm. So maybe he has no escape.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
there's
it goes.
Ezra, and that's bad because now it's helping his activation. That's like that's the one spot you want in that spot because
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to burn Jin there or to backing him up. I don't know. That might be if he snipers or you are beaten as one of them or Ezra. But still, very good move by Drew to cancel Visitor off the bat.
Yep.
And Drew gets at one of his docking bays. Yep. All right. So he didn't have his activation or his Emperor, but he did have a no escape.
Okay, that's something that's gone right for him so far.
He found his
There's
bridge,
another Twix,
which he whiffed on turn 1. Here comes Kylo. That's right. So Drew didn't save any. So there's no threat of barrier. Maybe you keep your eyes open. Which I feel like No Idea has to run at least 1, probably 2 now, since it can't protect against weapons quite as well.
Well, the Drew could also have a rescue too.
Yeah, he could have a bunch of things. Rescue, Nestlor. It is a 6-card hand. Obviously, No Idea usually plays around 24 characters, maybe 6, 7, 8 starships.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here comes Kylo. So he's only defense value 1 on Utani. It's going to be really hard for him to miss, but he draws a 3. So it's not getting canceled. So there's no rescue here, but Drew might hope if Drew has a Nestlor, that'd be really big for him.
No. Okay, so it's going to be a clear of the site.
Yeah, interesting dynamic here. Obviously, Drew's a really good No Idea player. He's played it a lot this year, and Conor obviously played No Idea a ton, but he also loves Hunt Down. He played it at Endor. He played it in NPC.
Yep.
That was how we started talking a lot more in like February when I had a really good month with Hunt Down until I qualified. Somehow went 6-0 with it, but I do think Hunt Down's gonna be really good. I shouldn't say really good. People love playing Hunt Down, even when it shouldn't be played as much.
I think it's a little bit of a underrated deck in this post-errata meta for sure.
Oh wow! Conor draws a 0 for Battle Destiny, and that's crushing.
Yeah, just some bad breaks early on here.
Yeah, so he does have secret plans out. So Drew's not going to retrieve.
Yeah, but if Drew wants to, he can drain for 2 there, because even if Conor pulls Coward, it won't do anything.
Yeah, and if you're Conor, you probably don't want to be the person pulling Battle Plan. You probably just have to suck it up and let him get that drain of 2 through. I mean, there's what 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 2 Twix. There's the security tower and Downtown Plaza floating around still. So he had maybe like a 2 in 27 chance, some crazy odds, but that's big because I don't think you want to pull Battle Plan for Conor. That can come back to bite you. Hunt Down. We don't want to give anything away, but if anything has token space,
right.
I wouldn't say token. It's usually like an infiltrator, maybe a Morrow. So Conor top decks a Vader and an Emperor. He does have. Oh, he already dropped a No Escape to get back Visage. So this is not a good start for Conor.
Still got 2 or 3 Vaders left.
Mm-hmm.
You could always pull one at the castle and move over to the vault, maybe. And then pull Coward.
Yeah, again, another question point with Hunt Down. Do you want to grab this vault, prevent them really from getting Stardust going, or do you want to go to the beach? I think I'd rather go to the beach.
Yeah.
Maybe image
Yeah, because
the
vault
vault.
you lose your immunity too, so you
Yeah.
won't stay there very long.
But then you're kind of giving up. All right, so then Lightside's going to be able to hold, or if they hold Coward, they hold Battle Plan. That can really snowball. So Drew puts out, and he's going to reinforce Ray to the Hollow Theater. Get the use pile pull.
Maybe he's looking for R2, maybe?
R2, no idea. I don't even want to use him anymore. I think they're deployed to 2. And you can't recur them. I mean, like in Legends, he doesn't really help you with the spin.
Looking for a rescue or something. His goal is to just
right.
He just wants to stop Visage from going back one.
But yeah, R2 is in a tricky spot because I don't think you can't really put him on the Falcon to add into your maneuver because the maneuver equals 6. You put him on Gold Leader, you can't put any pilot on it. He costs 1 more and you can't recur. And I'd rather play like Cassian or obviously like Jin.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, so early on, looks like Drew's off to a decent start, but Conor has a healthy hand. So here comes Vader. Flips. Now he can get Coward out to stop that drain. And maybe his hope is, or if I was him, I think my game plan would be just keep him off that second battleground. Or, yeah, keep him off the sites. The battleground sites.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Greg makes a good point that, Conor doesn't have to win this game. He just has to lose it by less than 18.
Yeah, that's true. And it wasn't a very good start for Conor across the board, but I think you just take a breath and kind of reset it here. And remember, you just got to lose by less than 19.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Conor goes over the soft cap of 12. Drew has got Ray going.
Saves 3, so maybe bluffing something like a UR beaten, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Which
Saul can't cancel anymore.
Which we talked, and that's so much better now that weapons display is blind because that would hit you on the defensive or the offensive and the defensive swing. It could be 4 4s pretty easily. Decree even that's 2. But I'm really curious how those shields being gone. I mean, we talked about it. It's almost like second instinct to pull